Yes, they are our official productivity partner. The speaker has 20 years of experience in the field of productivity and competitiveness. And she has worked on a variety of initiatives to help Malaysia business improve their performance. In a current role at Malaysian Productivity Corporation, she is responsible for coordinating, monitoring, and evaluating delivery efforts between industry and government related to productivity improvement. Today, the world is talking about productivity. One day we have 24 hours. In that 24 hours, what you do, prioritize it, that's what is going to give you the result. And the agency behind the productivity of the country is Malaysian Productivity Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the next speaker. Let's put our hands together and welcome Dr. Halimahatun Sadia.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to all my friends here. First of all, I would like to thank you to the organizer for this opportunity for me to share on Malaysia's productivity agenda, leveraging technology to improve productivity. Sorry, my slide. Yes, agree with you, Mr. Ravi, that productivity is very important for Malaysia's growth. Yeah. All right. Okay. When talk about productivity here, in the agricultural context, subsectors, we can see that agricultural productivity can create or creating job here. Also ensuring food security as well as boosting economic growth. So that's will making Malaysia more productive. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move to the next slide. Okay. From the slide, we can see that Malaysia's productivity grow at slower rate. Yeah. So when talk about productivity, we can see that at one time in 1985, between 1985 and 1995. Sorry. Okay. When talk about productivity here, as shown on the screen, we can see that Malaysia's productivity grow at a slower rate. Yeah. So why Malaysia's productivity shows a positive growth and trend, challenges remains. Yeah. Of course, we can see that comparing Malaysia and South Korea. Yeah. So we can see that there is a huge gap in terms of productivity level. Yeah. At one time, in 1985 to 1995, these two countries, so Korea and Malaysia, was comparable in terms of productivity level. Yeah, but however, since then we can see that Korea surpassed Malaysia in terms of productivity level. Yeah, so last year here. The productivity gap getting bigger, huge, and expanded almost near to 28,000 US dollar. So a lot works need to be done. Yeah, and then collaboration between our stakeholders, government, and industry is very crucial in order for us to improve the productivity, particularly in agriculture subsector. So when we narrow it to a growth food subsector, we can see that after COVID-19, yeah, our productivity grew at 3.1%. Yeah. However, in 2022, it shows that the agro-food subsector productivity growth decreased to minus 1.4%. Again, a lot of work need to be done in order for us to improve productivity holistically from sectoral level to national level. Okay, so why productivity is very important? Yeah, as shown on the screen, we can see that productivity involves boosting sales, yeah, optimization of wages, as well as reducing the cost. Yeah, of course, the element of technology, talented skilled workers, and sensible regulation will encourage to contribute to improve the productivity. Yeah. When talk about sales, yeah, it depends on the effectiveness of marketing, yeah, as well as the branding or brand trust for us to improve our sale for our product, as well as we also will, should provide very excellent, yeah, service for customer, for them or for customer to remain buying our product. Yeah. So and next, in terms of wages, of course, wages represent on labor cost. Yeah. Competent farmers, reskilling, upskilling, talented workers will encourage and contribute to improve the productivity and the product quality produced. Yeah. And then in terms of a cost, yes, cost reduction involve the streamlining, yeah, the processes, of course, adoption of the modernized or modern techniques or automation in the farmers or in the agriculture sector will encourage and navigate to improve the productivity in that agriculture sector. Yeah. So, however, this sector also face challenges. Yeah, there are three challenges that has been identified under the productivity blueprint. Yeah, first is on talent. Of course, getting the very skilled talent is crucial. Yeah, we need the very skilled, knowledgeable, yeah, and workers or farmers so that they can transform or their businesses, yeah, their activities from the traditional to the modern techniques, yeah, for them to improve or produce more production, yeah. And then in terms of regulation, yes, of course, balancing compliance and efficiency is very important or necessary, yeah. And then where the farmer-friendly policies is crucial, yeah, to promote growth and sustain the productivity. Yeah. And then, of course, the last is on technology, where embracing technology is a key for us, for the farmers to improve and produce more production, yeah, to improve the sale as well as getting efficient, yeah, businesses. So on this matter, the friendly user solution is required for the farmers to retain and sustain in terms of their production. Yeah. So government and private collaboration can make can collaborate to produce more advancing tools in accessibility to all. Yeah. So what we do in MPC here, this is the landscape, how MPC evolved in the driving Malaysia's productivity. Yeah? From the screen, we can see that since 2029, MPC has been driving Malaysia's productivity, started with the capacity building, yeah, at that time, making business more efficient. So at that time, there were a lot of, a training or program related to enhance and reskill, upskill workers, yeah, to gain more knowledge and make it them more competent and efficient. Yeah. So and then in 2011, where we can see that how MPC moved to regulatory reforms. Yeah. Where we launched Pemuda. Yeah. And also, MPC also is a secretariat from Pemuda. Yeah. And at that time, we also introduced RURB, yeah, reduce unnecessary regulatory burden, yeah, and in 2020, in 2015, where we collaborate with the OECD international organization for them, for us, yeah, to strengthen our roles in terms to improve the productivity. So in 2017, where Malaysia Productivity Blueprint was launched at that time, the nature is under this productivity blueprint, 9 subsector we focus where we believe can improve the productivity and is private sector driven. Yeah, so agri-food subsector is one of the subsector we focus. Yeah, and then in under the 12th Malaysia Plan, additional of 2 subsector we contribute where we believe also can improve productivity holistically from national, sectoral, and at enterprise level. Okay, so since then, MPC proactive promote, yeah, encourage technology adoption, yeah, to businesses to improve productivity, yeah, and then since then also we develop and we also setting up, yeah, Nexus productivity, Nexus productivity, which is industry driven. Yeah, so we also develop various training which related on digital adoption, and then one of the program that still ongoing, MyReskill IoT program. Yeah, where we allow all the farmers, yeah, as well as other subsectors, yeah, industry players to involve and participate in this program. So these are the 14 prioritized sectors that we focus, yeah, including agri-food productivity nexus. Okay. Okay, MPC has facilitated over 5,000 companies here in adopting industry forward IoT adoption here through MyReskill IoT. So this program, the objective to enhance the monitoring in agriculture projects here, ensuring efficient and sustainable practices. And then allow me to share some of the testimonial here from that program here. And for case study 1, digital monitoring for crops, yeah, improve plant growth by optimizing data collection. Yeah, so the goal was to enhance plant growth monitoring by using sensor to collect accurate humidity, temperature, and soil moisture data. Yeah, so initially multiple sensors used. And then cause issues like uneven irrigation and inconsistent, yeah, fertigation impacting plant growth. Yeah, And then after the farmers involved in this, participate in this program, we can see that we consolidate all the data gathered, into the dashboard, and then making monitoring faster and accurate, so that the farmers can improve their business process, and then can make decision for any optimal plant growth. So data is very important nowadays. And then we move to the next testimonial, which chicken co-op automation. So the which we aim to create a comfortable and secure environment for our chickens, ensuring their well-being and productivity. So initially, the farmers participate and involve the program. They monitor, the monitoring co-op temperature was a manual and very difficult and challenging. And after they participate in this program, with 24/7 remote monitoring, temperature can be controlled, and became seamless, and providing a comfortable space for the chickens. So in terms of productivity, it's resulting in remarkable ROI 15%. So in conclusion, our journey today highlights Malaysia's progress in agricultural productivity through innovation and technology. So as we move forward, let's continue this momentum, fostering collaboration between government initiative, private sector and farmers. So I welcome from the industries, players, farmers as well, to collaborate with MPC through AgroFood Productivity Nexus. So please feel free to visit our booth in the exhibition center and get more information on what we provide to all the industry players. So with that, I end my presentation with this video. Enjoy.
As a leader mesti berani buat keputusan. Salah tak apa buat keputusan. Biasalah buat keputusan salah kan. Cerita comfort zone ni dah lama dah. Dah lama dah kita cerita leader-leader bercerita pasal comfort zone. Leader sendiri bercerita pasal comfort zone. Tapi leader tak keluar daripada comfort zone. Macam mana nak buah nak keluar?
Siapa sangka setiap kawan lebih 18 tahun berjaya menjadi batu asas
Agrotourism Centre hasil kerjasama Farm Fresh dan Universiti Putra Malaysia.
Kalau you compare last 10 years, kita bermula 2010 kan sampai sekarang dah 10 tahun. 60 ekor lembu tak ada apalah cerita nak pengurusan 60 ekor lembu, 2-3 orang pun boleh jaga kan. Kita buat semua manually, buat sendiri. Jadi untuk mencapai economy of scale yang itu kita kena expand. Ekonomi of scale tu untuk you tambah orang pengurusan, untuk tambah ini, dia tak beri pulangan yang sewajarnya kerana ekonomi of scale tu tak cukup. Our mission ialah untuk produce fresh milk yang sedap and then deliver within 48 jam secara konsisten, dan itu adalah KPI kita untuk ladang yang ini. Untuk menguruskan itu, kalau kata tak ada satu sistem yang efisien, delivery system kita tak sampai. Bila barang premium, harga dia mestilah premium juga. Tapi kita dekat Farm Fresh, kita nak bagi harga yang affordable. Digital teknologi yang ada dalam ni ialah daripada segi pengumpulan data. Jadi kita kena ada data-data yang spesifik untuk kita tahu prestasi ladang dan pengeluaran lembu kita. Bila kita dah tahu data-data ni, kita dapat troubleshoot. Data tu penting untuk kita. Kalau kata kita tak ada digital punya maklumat, kita tak tahu nak buat apa. Kita just assume. So sebagai leader, kita dapat full control dengan kita boleh akses kepada data-data ni tadi supaya memudahkan kita untuk buat keputusan. Sebelumnya saya guna rapid exit. Jadi itu limitasi dia, satu hari saya boleh perah 800 hingga 900 ekor. Dengan mesin yang baru ni saya boleh perah sekarang 1200 hingga 1500 ekor. Jadi pengeluaran lebih tinggi. Dengan tracking system boleh meningkatkan kita punya integriti dalam supply chain untuk kita deliver produk yang terbaik kepada consumer kita. Kalau you tak betul-betul jaga susu itu kan, belum sampai dah kita nak manufacture dekat kilang pun dia dah rosak. So tracking system ni sangat penting dan consumer kita rasa selamat untuk menggunakan produk kita dan dia akan loyal dengan produk kita kerana dia rasa this is produk yang boleh kami percayai. Online platform adalah salah satu kaedah di syarikat kami macam mana kita mengumpulkan data untuk kita tengok customer behavior. Kita nak tengok pola pembelian, SKU mana yang laku. Jadi data-data macam ini kita tahu kita nak buat promotion of sales kita dan planning kita punya production pula. Dan tak ada banyak wastage dan kita boleh save dekat situ. Leader kena berani untuk invest. Banyak faedah yang kita boleh dapat daripada invest dekat digital ni. Bila dah skala yang besar ni, memang kita sangat memerlukan digital teknologi. Kita tak boleh lagi manual. If you want to grow big, kita kena berani ambil keputusan untuk invest dan how to penetrate the market, how to break the market. Tapi kalau kata kita masih tak nak terbuka dengan teknologi baru, saya ingat kita akan tertinggal. Untuk deliver produk yang bagus, kita mesti ada analisa supaya kita boleh deliver produk kita dengan selamat kepada consumer. Dan bila orang dah confident dengan produk kita, loyalty itu akan datang sendiri. Dengan digital teknologi ini dapat membantu kita menjadi pengeluar susu terbesar negara dengan sekarang market share sudah 55%. That's what make people happy, stakeholder happy, pekerja happy, everybody happy, kau pun happy.
MPC definitely driving that perception of getting things done in a better way. That was Dr. Wan Rehana Wan Asim. Thank you so much for that power. That was Dr. Halima Saidalet, the Director of Malaysia Productivity Corporation, which is MPC. Thank you so much for that amazing presentation. We now go on to Mr. Hemant Santakumar, the Assistant Manager of Investment Division at Northern Corridor Implementation Authority. He will facilitate discussions on private investment for sustainable growth in agriculture, drawing on his extensive experience and insights in investment and business development. Mr. Hemant Santakumar is an engaging and insightful speaker, bringing a wealth of knowledge and practical experience to the table. His passion for learning and his commitment to contributing to organizational growth makes him a valuable addition to any discussion or event. And his topic for today is the importance of agriculture, facilitating private investment for sustainable growth. Let's welcome Mr. Hemant Santakumar.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests. Today I would like to present regarding our investment incentives in the northern region. And before I proceed, I would like to share our corporate video to give you a better understanding on what we do. So I'll ask them to proceed with the video first, and then I'll give you a detailed insight on what we give. Thank you.
Welcome to the Northern Corridor Economic Region, NCER. A melting pot of community, culture, tourism and industry. Home to more than 6 million people. Spanning a large landmass, NCER covers the 4 northern states of Peninsular Malaysia. Perlis, Kedah, Penang and Perak. Discover NCER, a dynamic region with abundant opportunities to be explored. NCER boasts a strategic position as a world-class trade destination. Situated within the Indonesia-Malaysia-Thailand growth triangle, NCER gives you smoother trade with Thailand and other neighboring countries. And being part of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, NCER enables you to access to 30% of the world's population. Our efficient logistics infrastructure improves the efficiency of your business. Which is why we are home to some of the top MNCs and LLCs in the world with a healthy growth of local SMEs.
Intel Corporation chose Penang as its first site outside of the US in 1972. The government outstanding support is another reason why Intel has long been an investor in the country, and NCIA is one of the key government agencies enabling our continued growth.
Smith & Nephew chose the northern corridor of Malaysia, and specifically Penang, for its highly capable workforce, proximity to other medical technologies, businesses, and infrastructure, and access to Asia-Pacific markets.
得益于友好的投资政策、优秀的人才资源和良好的商业生态系统环境，京津作为中国最大的玻璃制造商之一，成功的在北马经济走廊地区建立了第一个海外生产基地。
Driven by our strategic development plan, NCER is set to become a powerful economy by 2025, achieving targets that are both people-centric and investment-driven, putting particular focus on developing our priority sectors, with our sights set on these key outcomes. Despite these trying times, our commitment to provide facilities for your industrial needs remains unwavering. Our high-impact thematic parks are now ready for investors. For our investors, you will be greeted with many incentives when investing in NCER. Apart from being a strong destination for investments, NCER also boasts a robust talent pool.
What amazes me and companies likes of UST in NCR is the ecosystem that exists here. There's a great access to talent, umpty number of universities. There are government agencies like NCIA which are facilitating the gap between the students and what companies like us need.
Our strategic positioning, trade partners, and initiatives produce an impact that benefits the people, improving life for all. We have achieved great milestones since our journey began, attracting billions worth of investment, creating a high number of job opportunities, and growing the region's GDP contribution, proving our unparalleled commitment to growth. We strive to deliver sustainable value to all our stakeholders. From lucrative investment opportunities to unforgettable experiences, NCER has it all. Access an unrivaled infrastructure and workforce talent, and enter a dynamic and vibrant business ecosystem.
NCR welcomes global investors and corporations to be part of our journey to becoming a world-class economic region and technology hub in ASEAN.
Okay, before I continue, I just want to give a quick introduction. As you all are aware, Malaysians know that we have a lot of investment promoting agencies in Malaysia. As for the expats, we have multiple agencies. We work together. We support the similar kind of systems, but we have different sets of incentives to promote. As you know, now food security is a big agenda worldwide and also in Malaysia. There's shortage of food, and every government has also imposed that we should be focusing on producing more food-related products for the consumption of the country. So as an agency in the north, what we are doing is we are focusing on a lot of investments related to agriculture, food industries, as well as aquaculture, bioindustries, food production, a lot of sectors. So I'll skip through a couple of slides because it's the repetitive from the video. I'll just get into the direct information and incentives that we offer and what we do. Like I mentioned earlier, through the video, these are the 4 states we cover: Penang, Perak, Perlis, and Kedah. Our main direction and our main goal is to boost the socio-economic development of each state, to promote entrepreneurship, and also to increase the livelihood of every people over there. So our chairman is the Prime Minister. As you can see, this is our council members. We work closely with everyone to reach our goals together for all of the projects. Okay, this is our strategic development framework to create jobs, encourage entrepreneurship, generate high income, increase private sector investments. Sectors that we cover are manufacturing, services, agribusiness. Like I mentioned, all the sectors. Key enablers are infrastructure, ecosystem, skills and talent, digital and technology. Okay, yes. Okay, in agriculture and bioindustry sectors, we've covered a lot of projects. Okay, like the other agencies, we cover with a lot of companies. Like Farm Fresh, they've also opened up another branch in the northern part called Holstein Slama Dairy. We have also facilitated their investment in a different term. So we have offered tax incentive. So we've got a lot of projects coming up. There's one huge project coming up, not a dairy project, a maize project. We've got cash crops, coconut plantations, and a lot of projects that's coming into Malaysia. We also have a project team. I am from the investment team that facilitates private investments. So we have a project team that solely focuses on the improvement of yield for paddy cash crops. As you can see, in the national level, we are focusing on modernization of agriculture, driven by research and also technology and innovation. As you know, agriculture it's a big stigma when it comes to youngsters. Agriculture is a dirty job. So the ones who are working in agriculture mostly are all the elderly crowds who are still working with conventional methods. So it takes some time and it takes a lot of awareness before converting them to use technologies and move forward. So technology is another way for us to attract youngsters to join in and also start up and also work in agriculture-related sectors. Excuse me. In the state level, we are going to promote commercial and planned agricultural development with high technology practices. We work closely with a lot of smart farming companies who are working. We connect business to business as well. So if there are smart farming companies who are there who's providing solutions, we connect them to the businesses who can enhance their yields, also improve their productivity. In terms, can also save their cost in the long run. And then in the local level, to encourage high-yielding model agriculture, like I mentioned, we have a project team who's closely working with a project in Pendang, state in Kedah. It's called Estate Management Model 2.0 to improve the yield of paddy. And you know, recently there has been a crisis in Malaysia, shortage of rice. So we have to look at every angle that we can do to improve and improvise the production. For the National Food Security Agenda, the mission is high agricultural productivity. We have talent and development, technology, R&D, DNC, strategic projects, new investment. As you can see, all of this correlates together. Under the facilitation of private sector investment, there's NTAX, that is our term for tax exemption. NTAP is hiring incentive, we give salary subsidy. And then there's DU, it's a grant, and also entrepreneur, NCR. Support talent development, upskilling. And then we have implement key strategic projects. Like I mentioned earlier, the EMM, Estate Management Model 2.0 Pendang, is for paddy project. Superfruit agropreneurship. We have a superfruit project based in Chuping, in Perlis. We have Agrofood Valley, maize and dairy also. And then we have promote new technology, R&D, TNC. I'll go in detail in the next slide. As you can see, the things that we have done to improve the yield for land preparation, planting, harvesting, pest management, seed quality, also farm management. The input material were proper fertilizers, soil conditioner, pesticides, with proper SOP, rice check, farm monitoring. We have worked closely with other sectors and industry players who have provided solutions in order for us to champion up this project. So as you can see, why we would like to call you to invest in Northern region. As an agency up north, our focus is mainly to boost the investment in Northern region, the development in Northern region. So in return, we have some incentives to attract all of you to come up north. So as such, we've got tax incentive, a minimum of 5 years, maximum of 15 years. A minimum of 70% up to 100% of tax exemption for all sectors. And we have 100% up to 10 years income tax allowance. This is one of the incentive for our fiscal incentive. Non-fiscal, we have NTEP, NCR Talent Enhancement Program. It's actually a salary subsidy program. What we do is we offer 50% of their salary maximum capped at 1,000 ringgit. This is to encourage companies, organizations, farms to hire fresh graduates in order to give fresh grads job. So in return, we provide this incentive. We've got another one which is called NTIC, NCR Talent, Innovation Technology and Innovation Center. In this, what we do, we have 3 programs under that. One is called ATMP, Advanced Technology Meister Program. Advanced Technology Meister Program is actually a program to bridge the gap between industry and also academia. When you graduate from the institution, when you come out as a fresh grad, you are always way behind than the organization and industry because they are always moving forward. To bridge the gap, what do? They always offer training programs and modules. So in return, we work closely with academia to make sure that those training modules that has been set up by the organization is endorsed by the academia. We work closely with big institutions such as USM, AIMS, UniKL, UniMap, and few more. DU at NCR is actually our grant program. It is mainly focusing on a Bumiputra community, minimum 51% of Bumiputra community, and paid up capital of 100,000, you're eligible to apply for this program. What we do is we offer you 15% of your investment value on the project, or maximum capped at 2 million ringgit. This is the main program for SMEs, to develop SMEs, to assist them. So this is our program. And we have a few industrial parks available. So apart from just promoting on agriculture, farms and all, food industry also is in need. So we've got a few industrial parks and thematic parks. Kedah Rubber City, as you can see, is mainly focusing on rubber-related products. So I will skip that. Chuping Valley Industrial Area is in Chuping, Perlis. Kedah Science Technology Park is in Kedah. These are all close towards the Thailand border. So don't worry about the logistics. We've got proper railway system. We've got proper highway systems. So everything is properly taken care of. What we have already prepared, the basic infrastructure has already been built. So companies who are interested to open up food-related industries, you can feel free. You can come and meet us. We can explain further. The basic infra is already set up. So you just have to set up your company. You can start and you can move forward. Apart from that, Northern region is also a famous tourist destination. And if you come to Penang, you can get good food. Just joking. But it's true actually. Okay, so this is my presentation from my organization. If you have any questions, we are available here. We have our booth next door, NCER's booth. We'll be here for the next 3 days. Feel free to come and visit us. We'll answer all your questions. We'll present you whatever you need. You just let us know. We'll give you proper information. You can always come in and invest in the northern region. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hemant Santakumar. Our next speaker is Yang Berbhagya Tan Sri Abu Qasim Mohammed, the Chairman of Advisory Board, National Anti-Financial Crime Center in Malaysia. Tan Sri Dr. Abdul Qasim Mohammed is a distinguished figure in the realm of anti-corruption efforts, currently serving as the Chief Commissioner of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission. He's also an illustrious career showcasing an unwavering commitment to combating corruption, both within Malaysia and on the global stage. His journey from an investigation officer to the Chief Commissioner of the MACC reflects his dedication to fostering ethical governance and his significant impact on international anti-corruption networks. His accolades and leaderships, his roles underscore his profound contributions to the field of anti-corruption in the ethical public space. So warm welcome to Tan Sri Abu Qasim Mohammed.
Thank you very much. I think I'm in the wrong place. 40 years in the law enforcement and investigation, suddenly I have to make a presentation on agriculture. Alhamdulillah, basically what I'm going to share with you is something that I'm doing immediately after my retirement. And the topic is very related to our food security especially. And it has a great impact to our future. Basically, the back to basic is about going to have a better future in this country. The area that I'm going to cover is on three main areas. One, I believe that the usage of biosolid as the fertilizer, which we are in the midst of doing some pre-commercial project with IWK together with UPM and also UITM, where we discovered that it's a great potential if we wanted to have a lower cost in terms of planting in this country. And as you know that the prices of fertilizers and all that are very high now. And we have been doing it since last year. And we discovered that these fertilizers that we developed with some inputs and also some rectification in terms of the issues that was brought up to us saying that they are very concerned about the fertilizer that we produce. Alhamdulillah, today we have to cater about 160 tons of requests from the public, especially from the planter. Although our factory only able to produce about 5 tons per day, then we have a discussion with IWK. Hopefully, I'm still waiting for those who can connect my presentation with this slide and that screen. The IWK have given us an opportunity to be the research partner or collaborator in their project. They have done I would say that the research for more than 15 years regarding the usage of biosolid as a fertilizer. And we have a group of us, basically in our cooperative, in our organization, have the capacity to develop the plant and also to operate the plant. So we are given the opportunity, and based on that opportunity, we started the operation. And most importantly, we call a lot of discussion and also interaction and training with all those involved in plantation and also landscaper. We discovered that when they try the fertilizer, they found that it's much, much better. Indeed, there is a research made by UPM, a consultant, an academic consultant, regarding the effectiveness of this fertilizer, and they have come out with a 5 conclusions. The first most important conclusion that made by this Professor Tan, that the level of growth of this fertilizer is about 30% better than another control test plot, and also plot that we have 4 plots actually. One control plot, and second is using chicken dung, and third using pome as the fertilizer, and fourth one is the IWK or biosolid fertilizer. And the most important and tangible result is that the growth has increased better about 30% of the another trees. And on top of that, when we use microbes together with the biosolid that we produce, we discovered that the root system are broader and longer, and also they have a lot of hairy root that really make the process of nutrient, taking up nutrient is much, much more better. And what most interestingly, that from the professor research, they found that in terms of the heavy metal, especially, the amount of the heavy metal is very, very much lower The reason that why I have to share with you this, because these are the concern, public concern about the fertilizer. And they're concerned about E. coli, they're concerned about the bacteria and all that. And from the research, we discovered that all this has been, I would say, that dismissed because the process that gone through in producing this fertilizer, it has to go through a very high temperature drying process. The drying process will go up until 200 centigrade, and by 200 centigrade, basically all germs that before it goes to the drying, we also spray a little bit, inject a little bit with wood vinegar, meaning that by having this wood vinegar, they have two functions. One is to kill the germs, especially E. coli, and secondly, to reduce to very, very minimum. Indeed, you cannot really smell the biosolid because the wood vinegar really reduces the odor of the fertilizer. So based on this finding, and also, okay, thank you very much. This is, okay. The objective is to help the poor, especially to reduce the need. This is the factory that we are operating. This is the lab that our consultant from UPM tested all the fertilizer. And these are the findings. Again, I'm talking about the 30% increase, the root system, about the heavy metal, and also safe to be used for food crop. Indeed, I myself, although they have planted and tested, I myself test it very much, and I found that, oh my God, the effect of this fertilizer is wonderful. And again, if you look at the US, US also the name of the company that's selling this fertilizer is Bloom, and there's one professor, again, there's one professor in his research and also his testimony saying that it's a good fertilizer. And for your information, the price that after production, the cost and the price, the minimum price that we give to the public or we sell it to the public is very, very minimum. It's about less than half of the normal organic compost fertilizer. Because our intention is to help this country, especially to give the planter, the small-scale planter especially, on an affordable and cheap fertilizer. The second project that we in our plate are producing biochar. Biochar is very rich in carbon, and also when biomass or any biomass like wood chips, anything that can be converted, went through a pyrolysis process, and after they went through the pyrolysis process and become what we call it as a normal layman, we say in agriculture, charcoal. And the importance of agriculture charcoal is very important, especially they discovered it way back in the Amazon, from one community in Amazon, where that area you do not need at all fertilizer, then where the plant can grow very well. And from there, the Hollandese, German, and all that make study, and they discovered that the elements of biochar, that in this soil, the black soil, we call it the black soil, is very important, and especially German and Holland have come up with their own biochar, therapeutic soil, they call it, because they try to replicate whatever happened in Amazon 1,000 years ago, and they are selling it, and indeed, many countries now are using biochar as a basis to improve the soil, and it's very good soil amendment. There are a lot of testimony, there are a lot of research, and there are a lot of findings about the importance of biochar, especially in Malaysia. In Malaysia, if you know that the nitrogen leaching is one of the biggest problems, leaching, especially when you plant it on the ground, and we always have leaching problem, and because of that, by having biochar, and there is a research, indeed, UPM and many scholars has clearly made research and found that it really can hold the nutrient, they can hold the microbes, and they can hold the the water. And because of that, leaching will be reduced. Indeed, UPM is saying that by using biochar, you can reduce 60% of urea or nitrogen loss, because normally when we throw granular, about 40% will go in on the ground and another 60% gone. But by using biochar, it will reduce. And another study in Malaysia, where this is a study where they buy the biochar from Australia, way back from a university, a group of universities from UPM have tried to use biochar and chicken litter, and they found that it's very, very effective, and the yield has increased tremendously from 5-something into 11. And this is there's a book indeed written by UPM, and I have discussion, and we tried. Indeed, if you're not mistaken, this is the study by UPM. They said that it can hold 60% of the nitrogen. And indeed, at the moment, we are also working together with Agriculture Department using our biochar. We are using about 13 tons of biochar, and we're using at 3 plots, where we try to use control plots and 2-ton biochar, and the second plot is 1-ton biochar. And we hope that, because this area, the yield are very, very low, and we hope that by using the technology, we hope that the yield will be increased. We are very confident indeed that by using, Agriculture Department itself, they try, they give this, Anwar, Mr. Anwar is the agriculture officers, and he gave me this slide, and he said, Tan Sri, I use your biochar, and they try to make a stress test. They did not put anything, any liquid or water for 5 days, and they discovered that the plant that with biochar are much, much better and still can grow because of the water holding and also the nutrient holding. And the last, as I said, there are 3 areas that I like to share with you. One on the biosolid, second on biochar, and third is where we use, in our farm, we use Jadam approach from Korea, because as I told you, we are trying to help the small-scale farmer, especially in reduced costs. And we discovered that by using this, and it's been proven, I tried again and again, and at my farm, and also quite numbers of people also have given their testimony about the successful of using Jadam organic farming, especially when you wanted to have to develop your own microbes. The cost of 2,000 liters is cost you only about 10 ringgit, you can imagine, rather than you go and buy all the microbes that are very expensive, 60 ringgit for 1 liter, then after that you have to mix and you have to wait for another 14 days and so on. But by using this approach, within 3 days, you can produce about 2,000 liters of microbes, and immediately you can use to your field. And we have tried it. We found that the quality of soil, the organic matter, and also the living things in the soil are very good indeed. When we plant, you can see the plant grow very well. And for the same time, indeed, you can use your own very, very cheap liquid fertilizer. For example, if you wanted to make FAA, fish amino acid, it's very simple. By just get about 1 kilo or 10 kilo or 100 kilo of fish, and you take another 100 kilos of brown sugar and ferment it for about 14 days to 1 month. Then immediately after that, you can use it. But unfortunately, in Malaysia, for 1 liter FAA or amino acid, it will cost you more than 60 ringgit. But by having this 60 ringgit, you can get about 20 liters or even 30 liters, depending how cheap that you can buy your fish. And also you can get your brown rice. And there's so many liquid. For example, if you wanted to, this morning I asked my staff to use my moringa fertilizer. I use moringa to create a kind of amino acid, and also for fertilizer for N. And I discovered that it's very, very effective. By fermenting it for 14 days, then you can get high quality of N. Indeed, not only N for moringa, there is other nutrient and so on. And there are so many ways that you can get, and you can do by yourself in producing your fertilizer. Of course, what I'm referring this is about towards the small scale farming, and for larger scale farming, it needs to grow big, and the process, as you have to make the process bigger. There is one person, Chris Ram in Hawaii. He tried to use organic farming in his farm, very big, about 70 acres and also 100 acres. He can use it, but again, you must use effectively and rightly when you wanted to process it. Then in terms of pesticide, again, my planter in my farm, I teach them how to use DIY pesticide. For example, for wetting agent, you just use canola oil and potassium hydroxide, and from there you can get a good wet agent, and the cost of wet agent is less than 3 ringgit and 50 cents per liter by using a simple process only. And the process is very simple. It's not, you don't have to memorize the formula, and so that is very easy. And to create the herbs, for example, there are so many processes, but the processes that under Jadam, you just boil for 4 hours. Any plant that there are about 100 plants that you can use as a herb, combined with JWA or the wet agent, you use it, it will be effective. For example, you can use, in Malaysia, you can get it free anyway, but people tend to forget about the importance of this plant. Birkenfin, or in Birkenfern, in Bahasa Malaysia is Paku Pakis. It is everywhere in our country. You just take it, boil it for 4 hours, then the herbs combined with JWA, wet agent, and plus a little bit of sulfur. You can make your own sulfur indeed. I make my own sulfur, and sulfur has been used in Egypt for more than 1,500 years ago. For the biosolid in China, they have been used for 4,000 years ago. All these are back to basic, but the system is still modern. The system is still modern, but the content to deal with this are most important. And for your information, we are trying our best to reduce the cost of planting chili, because in this country we import 60% of chili. And we discovered that the government aids and government initiative and project, for 1 kilo chili, it will cost you about 4 ringgit. But in Vietnam, lower than 2 ringgit. In India, also at about lower than 2 ringgit. What we are doing now, using all this input, cheap input, and we are doing it now, and has been, last week we started to harvest our chili, using, majority of using this approach. Alhamdulillah, we discovered that it's not much different by using chemical fertilizer. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. That was young Berbahagia Tan Sri Abu Qasim Mohammed taking us back to basics. And that's what it's about. It's looking at those things that we used to do before and how we can then innovate it to be able to use it in this particular space in the modern version of doing things. Shukran, thank you so much for that very insightful presentation. Our next speaker is Mr. Attullah Fernando. He's an accomplished regional sales manager with over a decade of dedicated service at Jiffy Group, which is based in Sri Lanka. Mr. Attullah has been instrumental in driving sales of Jiffy's sustainable plant growing solutions across the Asian region since joining the company in 2008. He has a passion for promoting eco-friendly plant cultivation methods. He has significantly contributed to the company's success in the competitive horticultural industry. He plays a pivotal role in promoting sustainable plant growing solutions, and he's going to talk to us about how we can use these solutions from the company Jiffy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for that excellent introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Attullah.
And to start the proceedings, I will play a video of Jiffy. It's a 3-minute video, and you will get an insight what is Jiffy and how Jiffy produce different plant propagation solutions in a sustainable way. So let's watch the video.
Trees, plants, and flowers. They are all vital for a healthy and happy life. Embedded in the right soil, their roots provide stability and nutrients, helping them to thrive. We are Jiffy. We supply our customers with growing media for plant propagation and cultivation. Our mission is to be the innovation and service leader in sustainable plant growing solutions to feed and beautify the world. We share research with growers, universities, and other industry leaders around the globe. This enables us to create innovative, evidence-based solutions. We are always learning more about how plants flourish and how to create the best growing environment for their roots. Take our biodegradable Jiffy Pop, for instance. Over 65 years of development have gone into it. Yet we are still discovering and implementing new ways to make it better. Our knowledgeable, passionate, and reliable crew produces pots, plugs, pellets, grow bags, grow blocks, and substrate mixes. With these products, we help growers find the right solution for their crop. Because in the end, it's high yield that put a smile on their faces. We work with high-quality raw materials. Most of our peat and coir ingredients are harvested, processed, and mixed in our own facilities in Canada, Estonia, Sri Lanka, and India. We are strongly focused on offering peat-reduced and peat-free products, using components like bark, cocoa chips, and wood fibers. Thanks to our strategic production locations, we can efficiently serve customers all around the world. We are seeing a rapid increase in demand for food-safe products and for food solutions that benefit the earth. We aim to create solutions that use less water, that can be produced locally, and that are biodegradable or recyclable. Great developments are happening within this field, and we are working closely with the leading innovators in our industry. Together, we can offer high-tech solutions to overcome the challenges growers face today. Let's develop sustainable plant growing solutions together.
I hope that gave you an overview of what Jiffy Products is and what we are doing. So let's look at our vision. To be the innovation and service leader in sustainable plant growing solutions to feed and beautify the world. So basically it means we provide plant propagation solutions to grow food crops, that is why feed, and then beautify for flower crops. So basically we provide plant propagation substrate solutions different way. I will go for the next one. Let's see, Jiffy started way back in early 1950s in Oslo, in Norway. The first product we have come up with is a Jiffy pot made from peat substrate. And at that time, there have been a lot of plastic pots being used in the market. And then they have wondering how to come out with a degradable or biodegradable pot. And then two gentlemen have come up with the Jiffy, first Jiffy pot, and from that onwards, Jiffy has been going through different mergers and acquisitions and expanding their product portfolio to different products. For example, like they have acquired few companies on the way and added different products into their portfolio. These are the products that we produce now, Jiffy pots, which we produce in Denmark and also in Canada using peat and coir substrate. Also the Preforma plugs, again, it's a very popular product. Basically, it's a mixture of peat and cocoa peat with a binder so that the growers can decide what mix they want and in which tray they want. Basically, it's a very flexible product. Then we have the Jiffy pellets, the peat and coir pellets. Basically, we call it the media and the container in one. So basically, the media is peat or cocoa peat. The container is the netting. Netting, of course, is a degradable netting. So then we have a lot of coir products, grow bags, grow blocks, cocoa discs, and also the substrate, cocoa and peat. You can see a Jiffy pot, how it is. You can see the roots penetrating through the wall. So that's why we call it open wall concept for Jiffy pots. You can see how the roots coming out from the pots. And it's, when you transplant in the soil, absolutely there won't be any issue in transplanting shock. There won't be any issue in that. Then the Preforma plugs, as I mentioned, this is the most flexible product we have in our portfolio. You can see the plugs. Because of the glue, it holds together, so there won't be absolutely no transplant shock, and also easy to handle in automated system or mechanical system. And we produce this product in Netherlands and also in Japan and also in USA. Then we come to the Jiffy pellets, where we have peat pellet and coir pellet, both the same, the container and media in one concept. Here you can see the roots again penetrate through the netting. The coir pellet is the one which we is planning to focus especially in South Asia or Southeast Asia, because this is a product which has been proven very, very effective in using in these climatic conditions. Of course, this coir pellet is very, very conducive to use in under any stress conditions to propagate many different plants. I will show you some examples. You can see different crops being propagated in Jiffy pellets. Then we have another product from coir, it's grow block. Basically, it was developed to compete or maybe to replace the plugs, Oasis plugs or the Rockwool. You can see the grow block, there's no issue in disposing them because the netting is degradable. You can see some of the applications. Then the grow bags, again, the same concept. Grow bags can be with many different combinations of coir, like maybe a cocoa peat and husk chips with different ratios. And the grower can decide how they want the planting holes, drainage slits, drain holes. You can see different applications in grow bags. Then another product from coir is cocoa disc. Basically, we call it zebra disc. This was first produced to grow zebra, but now it is being used for other crops as well. Then the cocoa pit, the basic substrate. That also we produce in Sri Lanka, either husk chips or cocoa pit. So this is what I want to emphasize. Sustainable plant propagation solutions with GP7C pellets. As I mentioned, it's already been proven in the Asian conditions, especially in South Asia, Southeast Asia. It works really well. So this is made with 100% cocoa peat. And also we have the possibility to add the starter nutrients so that it will give a kickstart for the young plant. And we have different sizes of pellets suitable for different crops. Maybe for tomato, maybe a smaller pellet, maybe for a crop like papaya, maybe a medium size, or if it is a woody crop, maybe a big pellets. Here you can see how they've been used in nursery conditions. Mostly we use a tray. The main advantage with coir is because it has a lot of air porosity. So the oxygen availability for plant roots is really good. So that really helps under any stressing condition to propagate any crop, whether it's vegetable or flowering crop, it will survive in coir pellet. And also we are following the Dutch standard. RHP is a organization which specified different quality parameters in processing cocoa peat. I will show that in a little while. So that helped us to make our cocoa peat substrate solutions up to the desired quality levels. And the netting, we use the PLA netting, which is made from cornstarch. So it is 100% degradable netting. So you can easily transplant with the netting, and the net will disintegrate in soil after a while. So as I mentioned, the cocoa pit, because of the porosity, so it will have no waterlogging, and drainage is very, very good. So the oxygen availability will be very, very good for the plants. And the stability of cocoa peat. It has high in lignin, and that helps for the long lasting of cocoa peat. So you can use it for maybe even 3 to 5 years as a growing media. Just to give you some idea about how the cocoa peat derived. So basically it originates from coconut husk, and then I'll show you the process later on. Here you can see. So basically it starts from cocoa husk, and then you need to soak it in water to loosen the material. And then this is the way a lot of people do now with sprinkler system to wet the husk. And then it goes to a traditional kind of a machine where it extracts the coir fiber, and basically the waste is the cocoa peat. Then it goes through the process to make the right size of material, and then we receive the material in our factories, and then we file them in our storage, maybe for 6 to 8 weeks for aging purpose. This is also another important aspect. In cocoa peat, it is very, very high with salts, potassium, which may not be conducive to propagate young plants. So in that, you have to wash cocoa peat material, but washing alone will not help. you need to have a chemical reaction to take out the excess sodium, potassium, chlorine in the cocoa peat. For that, we have to do the washing plus we call buffering, where we add calcium sulfate or calcium nitrate to take out the potassium, sodium levels down, and then it will be conducive to propagate plants. So it goes through a process like that, and then the drying. That is also very important. We need to bring down the moisture level below 20% to make different cocoa substrate solutions. You can see the operation in a drying yard. And in Jiffy, we have several quality specifications. As you can see, the product quality or the safety, health and safety controls, and also most importantly, food safety is also available for Jiffy products. These are some of the parameters that we check to ensure that there's no nematode and it is free from phytohygienical issues. As mentioned, all done as per the Dutch standards. These are some of the parameters that we check. Usually the EC, E. coli, the weeds, particle distribution, the density, water holding capacity. This is what I mentioned. So basically we do the process to take out the excess salts and to make it conducive for propagation. Just to show you how we maintain the quality. This is important. The application of Jiffy pellets for different crops. For example, in India, when we started introducing Jiffy pellet for tissue culture banana, at the beginning, they laughed us because we went with a small 5 centimeter by 6 centimeter pellet, and they were using big poly bag, 5-inch and 8-inch tall, with soil. And then they said, how can you propagate a tissue culture banana in such a small pellet when we are using these big poly bags for ages? But we never gave up. With a lot of effort and a lot of testings, trials being done for over 2 years, we were able to prove them, even though the face value, the cost of a pellet compared to a cost of a polybag with soil is maybe the Jiffy pellet maybe 3-4 times higher the cost. But when you analyze the total production cycle, the amount of water, the labor involvement, the energy, everything. So we did a complete analysis, and in the end, it was proven, even though the pellet is expensive at the beginning, when you go through the entire cycle, production cycle, it was proven that Jiffy pellet is more economical than the traditional method that they were following. So that was a great breakthrough for us. And in the end, we were able to sell closer to 40 million Jiffy pellets only for tissue culture banana in 1 year. So that was a great achievement for us with a lot of dedication, hard work, and also the attitude of never giving up. You can see different applications, papaya, roses, chrysanthemum. There are many crops can be grown in this pellet. You can see the advantages in using Jiffy. One main thing is the success rate. Definitely it will be much higher than the conventional methods. So basically we are committed for sustainability, so we always try to avoid the packaging waste. Also, so we try to use recycled material, and also we try to improve our production processes to avoid wastages. Also, it's organic certified. So basically, we want to provide sustainable plant solutions so that you can protect the plants, people, profit, and planet. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one big round of applause to Mr. Atula Fernandez from Jiffy. For information, the technology has been utilized in Kalumpang, Tanjung Malim, Selangor. And it is 100% organic, cost effective. If you would like to see the real success story of Jiffy, on the way to Genting Highland, there is a company called Genting Garden. So in Genting Garden, every year, I believe, they use 16 million pallets of Jiffy. Jiffy is not new, and we welcome Jiffy to be strongly rooted in Malaysia so that Malaysia can take it up to another level to Asia, the Asian countries. One big round of applause again to Mr. Atula Fernando. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And I can see Dr. Kirpal Singh from Singapore sitting nicely for tomorrow's talk. Thank you, Professor Nayan, to be here. And Tan Sri Abu Qasim, all the way from overseas, I believe, just came back. Thank you for supporting us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to Italy now. Live stream, we are going to go to Italy. This is a very interesting technology. Our next segment features DECO, a world leader in pre- and post-harvest solutions. Discover their 90-year history. It's not 1 year, 2 years, yeah? 90-year history and their innovative, customized solution that leave zero residue. A world leader in pre- and post-harvest with more than 15 officers worldwide and over 90 years of experience, offering innovative, customized solutions and know-how on fertilizers, fungicides, biostimulants, and solutions with zero residue. Ladies and gentlemen, before I pass it to the media group to go to Italy, I would like to shower our sincere gratitude to Mr. S.M. Fauzi, the founder and a group CEO of Pica Synergy Holdings. Currently, he is in Madrid. And I believe if by God's grace, the weather is good, the 5G is good, we would like to also invite Mr. S.M. Fauzi from Madrid later to see the market in Madrid for a few minutes, all the way from Madrid. Please pray. And while you are listening here, masala tea has been served outside, but don't go outside. Because I've been told if you go outside, you don't come back because the food is so good. The taste is fantastic. I was told that the lunch is fabulous by Professor Stefano, all the way from Italy. So I'm worried that if you go out, you don't come back. But the next 3 talk is very crucial. One is from this DECO, Italy, together with Mr. S.M. Fauzi and Ms. Linda, who is in Madrid. Number 2 is Aerodyne, the #1 company in the world now in data analytics, a local, go global company, Aerodyne. And number 3 is the company who's making a big name in the wave of packaging and also processing the fresh food without losing the nutrient, PS Food. These are the 3 major subjects today. If you take your tea, please come in, have a tea, and listen to them. And this is the best we can bring for you today on the first day. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite from DECO Italy, Mr. Anthony Conrad Adaya, Export Manager Asia Pacific, Deco Italia, Catania, Sicily, Italy. Then live stream from Italy. Thank you, Mr. Anthony Conrad Andaya. And indeed, I think we would like to continue because time is running out. We would like to request Dane, is Mr. SM Fauzi in Madrid is ready to go into the market. And one big round of applause to DECO. 90 years of company journey, and they're going strong. And Malaysia, again, would like to welcome the former Secretary General of Ministry of Agriculture. Thank you for joining us, Dato Azlina. National Agro-Food Policy 2.0 is her baby. One big round of applause to Dato being here together with us. And also, as I mentioned just now, the last speech for today is one of the leading company in packaging technology and processing. Puan Adila Zain is here. Welcome. Thank you so much for being with us. And of course, our young, handsome Aerodyne. Coming soon after this. Let's look at Madrid. Then, once you're ready, let me know. You can give a cue. So, Mr. SM Fauzi has mentioned many good things about you, Dato Azlina. He said, we are missing you in ministry. That's not, I didn't tell. Mr. SM Fauzi, the Pika Synergy. And Dato Sri Alwi, if we can have your friends to come in so we can do the last session for today. 2 more to go. And let's see Mr. SM Fauzi and Ms. Linda to take us to the market in Madrid. While we are waiting from Madrid, waiting for Dane's queue, they're connecting to Madrid now. I just would like to inform all of you that tomorrow is quite crucial because tomorrow's topic is how this Asia Smart Farming started, the No Self A&D. And I believe those who have already registered as delegates, please ask them to be here on time tomorrow. Today is a bit first day for us, and apologize for the lunch hour just now, slightly delayed, but tomorrow we're able to catch up. But tomorrow's topic is crucial. Yesterday, the No Self team met the Secretary General of Ministry of Plantation and Commodity. My God, this is the truth. Rubber is having problem. Rubber industry having problem. And yesterday, Professor Stefano and as well as Mr. Marcelo, as well as Mr. Maru, right, and Mr. Bram, they mentioned to the Secretary General that we have a solution, a simulation model. And tomorrow is the day for when they said sun rise in the east. And Malaysia is bringing the no-self technology from the east, even though the technology is from the west. And it is going to shine in Asia. And Asia Smart Farming, we are ready to escalate and this finding of many years from Professor Stefano and Mr. Marcelo. And one big round of applause to Professor Stefano, who is sitting here. You will see him tomorrow physically. Then, all right, let's go to Madrid with Mr. SM Fauzi and Ms. Linda. Thank you. We are very grateful, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead. We love you, Mr. Fauzi. Thank you. All the way from Madrid. And this is where. Thank you. Sama-sama. All right. When technology meet nature, productivity increase. And tomorrow you're going to listen to the nature as nature does. And when we combine with technology, it is going to be more productive. Ladies and gentlemen, one big round of applause to Mr. S.M. Fauzi, Picas Synergy Holdings, all the way from Madrid. Thank you to Ms. Linda and Mr. S.M. Fauzi. Next, moving. As I told you, we have 2 more slots to go. And these 2 young gentlemen are giving a vibrant energy into the industry, especially on the food industry and agri-tech industry. The next speaker, of course, the company is #1 in the world, global #1. When I say #1, can we use the hand to clap? Thank you. It's not easy. To become #1 is not easy. Right. The next speaker, as the Chief Product Officer of Agrimo, Mr. Razwan is dedicated to revolutionizing farming practices through the strategic implementation of new technologies. He is a strong advocate for the use of drones and IoT, Internet of Things, to optimize crop management, increase yields, and enhance profitability for farmers. One of his key accomplishments is his commitment to sustainability. He has been instrumental in lowering the traditional inputs required for crop cultivation, including land, water, fertilizer, herbicides, and insecticides. By championing precision agriculture he has enabled farmers to achieve more with less, reducing environmental impact while boosting productivity. His leadership and expertise are driving Agrimo's mission to empower farmers with the tools and knowledge needed to thrive in a rapidly changing agricultural landscape. His dedication to sustainable, technology-driven agriculture is making a significant impact on the industry, paving the way for a more efficient and environmentally responsible future. I can read until tomorrow about his vision and his energy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands and welcome Mr. Razwan Zakaria, Chief Product Officer, Aerodyne Group, Malaysia.
Such kind words, Mr. Ravi. Every time I talk to him, I feel like I'm a girl because there's always pleasantries that's been exchanged by Mr. Ravi. Such a sweet talker. By the way, Mr. Ravi, regardless, this is a very tough job. I'm sitting between home, right? So a very good afternoon, nevertheless, to everyone here. To foreign dignitaries, I would say welcome to Malaysia. It's unfortunately rainy season now in Malaysia, but as you go to UK, United Kingdom, you'd enjoy the snow, please enjoy some Malaysia rain. Okay? So the title, however, is a bit naughty, now or never. Of course, we never want to say never. You know, this is, even though it's a bit naughty, but actually what we want to do is we want to call for action for everyone here in this auspicious hall today for us to really synergize our effort, pull ourselves together, push for technology, and hopefully our better future would come for us in this aspect of agriculture. Well, we are, ladies and gentlemen, going to be 10 billion people in 2050. So 10 billion people will require a lot of resources. And by feeding 10 billion people, we need actually 700,000 farmers. What we are right now producing is about 1,500, 2,000 new farmers on a yearly basis today. So what we want to do is, you know, as a nation, as a country, as humankind, we need to further push this. And we are actually late in the game already. So what we want to do is actually, we have to increase the productivity. We need to pull our effort together to make sure that we are able to feed 10 billion people in the year 2050. What does it mean actually is we need 60% increase in food production to produce our additional of 4 billion metric ton of food that humankind need by the year 2050. We will use a lot more water, natural resources, and we will need more land actually to feed ourselves in the future. Looking back, what happened probably in the last month at the northern part of India, Uttar Pradesh, massive flood happened. Of course, big calamity, souls were lost, but even more so, the arable land is also affected. So that's why, as the situation right now, we also have currently a geopolitical issues where India is starting to ban their exports of rice. That kind of like, of course, put a hammer on ourselves. We suddenly have to realize that we need to be producing more with less, right? Of course, another grim, about a year ago, Pakistan also faced the same situation. Climate has changed. A lot more souls were also lost because of flood. and this is also affecting the production of food, staple rice, wheat, and maize that we use every day as consumption. So, in short, these are the three grand challenges that we face as humanity. The first one is land. Our presence or our life is actually depending on 10-inch of soil. How big is 10-inch of soil? It's actually very, very small, but our life is actually depending on it. So this 10-inch of soil gives us our rice. This 10-inch of soil gives us our maize, our corn, everything else that we consume coming from this very sensitive resources. Right? Water, of course, 70% of our water that we are currently using for our agriculture input. And unfortunately, we need 19% more by the time that we reach 2050. Climate, I don't have to explain to you. As you can see, there's a lot of change that we are seeing, we are observing around us right now. Okay, so that is on the grand challenges. And of course, with grand challenges, of course, we don't stop and we always push for technology. So this is probably that for those who are familiar with the Gartner cycle. So this is a cycle which actually explains the state of technology where we are at the moment before mass use that we can have in our production system. The productivity, okay, so always we talk about the universities, the startups, the everything else. This is where we are at the innovation trigger. So this is where we think that everything is ideal, everything is beautiful, everything is nice and well. So of course there are technology over there, climbing up the innovation trigger, and then suddenly when you are up there, you realize, hey, the technology is actually not as easy as it sounds, or not as easy as it can be utilized in the field. Say for example, I just take one example. Drone is actually on a disillusionment period. It's going a bit down because you see massive application, you see a lot of people starting using drones, but actually the technology is facing challenges. One of the main challenges is actually the battery, the amount of power that they require to do that service or the application that we want, right? So what will happen is actually drone will survive this period of disillusionment and will come to a stage of enlightenment where new technology will be created and will be used in the sector. And then one day, drone will be the business as usual. Everybody, every farmers will use drones in their crop operations. So we are here, we will go through here, but, this is require this concerted efforts from everyone, especially from the ones inside this room. Yeah. So I'm cherry picking few technologies. Of course, agriculture is a big space. If I were to put all technologies inside there, it won't even fit the page that I'm sharing with you now. So probably IoT, drone, greenhouse, and also the digital platform that I will be sharing in my content of the slide. Yeah. Okay. Now or never. We need to save natural resources now. How we do this? Precision farming. So this is again using greenhouse. This is again using a very prescriptive analysis to grow your crops. An example here. So this is our farm in Dengkir. We got this from Jabatan Pertanian. So we are doing this as a collaborative effort together with Jabatan Pertanian. We're using their land to produce this. We actually use less input. It tastes better, right? So the, what do you call this? The Brix index, the sweetness level is better when you use greenhouse technology compared to open field, right? So open field use a lot of water, a lot of agriculture input. You need to use a lot of pesticides. So when you use greenhouse, you put it in an enclosed structure, you take care of the water, you take care of the input, then you will have such a better product that you can be really, really proud of. So this is us. That's my boss there, Mr. Kamarul, and also his partner in crime, Puan Azita there. Both are the co-founder of Aerodyne. Yeah. Okay. So another technology is we need to do sustainable practices. How do we do sustainable practices? Is by understanding the conditions of our field. And how exactly do we do that? Is by using remote sensing technology. This is again using drone. You fly multispectral camera, you fly your hyperspectral camera, you fly your thermal camera, and then you get the data from the field, and then you process those data and then understand the condition of the field. As an example, I will show you here. So those here, as you can see, there's a lot of attack that's been happening. So this is a nematode attack on a rice farm. As you can see, there's a lot of area that's been affected. At the middle here is badly, and then you can say bye-bye actually to this part of the crops. So when we do remote sensing, we understand that which area are affected. And then we can further classify those areas, right, for intervention process. So what we do here is actually we fly, we carry the, unfortunately, chemical applications, and then we apply exactly at the location identified. So what we are doing here, we don't fly at the area that's not been affected by the nematode. So we only fly to the place that's affected by the nematode. So what happened after those kind of application is a better condition that again we can take using multispectral camera in terms of capturing the field. So this is one of the examples that we need to push. We need to further use this as part of our operations in our crop management. Of course, by using drone technology, it's proven that it also can increase your productivity. An example here is a bit wordy, this slide, but essentially what it says is the productivity is better. Let's say, for example, when we use this as a crop protection services, meaning we go and apply applications to the trees, we can do more. With conventional, with conventional meaning manual labor, they can do about 4 to 5 hectares per day, right? So they are carrying their boom spray, they are carrying their knapsack sprayer, they can do about 4 or 5 hectares per day. But when we use drone, we are able to do it at least 5 times more, 22 to 25 hectares per day. So the list goes on, right? Basically, in terms of productivity, we can do more with less people. So I think this is also very important because labor shortage, labor manpower is also a critical issue in the agriculture sector at the moment. So if we can do a bit more, so this is a desirable outcome in what we want. So I think, yeah, with that, I would say thank you very much again for the opportunity. I hope I've shared one of few things that with the audience today. And have again, my name is Razwan Zakaria. I'm the Chief Product Officer of Aerodyne Group. And thank you again for this opportunity to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not a sweet talker, brother. Malaysia is so sweet. And we welcome the world to come here and let's build. The world is ever fresh and we need more people like Mr. Razwan, younger generation, to spearhead to another generation. The good things must continue. The good things must be shared. And good knowledge, it's a mandatory to be shared to others. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, To Aerodyne Group, Mr. Razwan Zakaria. Fantastic. Always admire his PowerPoint presentation. It's class. Thank you. Good, you did very well. Now we come to the last, but before that, before we proceed further, tomorrow there are parallel session. Not only the main session, parallel session. You will be receiving a link today, those who have registered your names. So those of you who are in the main session, the session will be here, will be conducted in this main conference hall. The parallel session will be moved into another room. So we will send you the link. Kindly those who receive the link, those who are coming for the session tomorrow, please come here. This is where the session is, the main session, because the entire No Self leaders are here, and Professor Stefano and Mr. Brahm. I just received a call from Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, and the office, they wanted to really send a people tomorrow. They received the invitation. Thanks to Haji Mashur to pass the line to me. Thank you so much. They're an important ministry for technology and innovation. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to the last slot for today. But it is the most important one, because end of the day, when the farmer produced the food, it has to go through the process, as you saw just now, DECO. But this process needs to be done very, very meticulously. And this company started as a packaging company, but they are moving also into food and beverage. One of the key supporters of this event, PS Food, and today, we are going to see the younger generation who is supporting the first generation. Let's look at the speaker's profile. Under his leadership, PS Food and Beverage Sdn Bhd has gained recognition as a key player in the beverage industry, particularly in the development of refreshing and beneficial drinks. PS Food products, including juices and milk-based beverages, have become popular choices for consumers of all ages. Mr. Yazir's contributions and leadership within PS Food and Beverage Sdn Bhd showcase his commitment to producing high-quality beverages while actively participating in initiatives that benefit society. His dedication to enhancing hydration and well-being through innovative products is a testament to his vision for the company and the community it serves. I've met him personally a few times. I've listened to him. This young man has a great potential to be a market leader in the future. And PS Food and Beverages are grooming younger generation. Thanks to the founder, Mr. Ayar Zain, and his wife, Puan Adila, you are empowering the younger generation. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and invite the young, dynamic Mr. Yazir Mashur, Business Development Executive, PS Food and Beverage Sdn Bhd.
Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. This is interesting. First and foremost, before I start, of course, I'd like to thank the moderator, as well as the MC, which is surprisingly our most honorable person here, Mr. Ringgit Malaysia Ravi Chandar, yes. So I thank you so much for the beautiful words, and I hope we can learn something together today. So to start off, so we're going to touch upon something that's very interesting, that the future has come to when it comes to food technology, okay? So here we have in front of us something that may or may not be familiar to us. This is lab-grown meat, okay? Surely it's not as scary as it seems now, But until I tell you it's made from human tissues, then you'll start thinking twice about consuming it. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about it. So the concept of lab-grown meat has emerged as a revolutionary solution to address the increasing demand for protein while mitigating the environmental impact of traditional meat production. As mentioned from our previous speaker, the need of food capacity will increase over the years as population increases as well. Thank you for the information. So with that, of course, by cultivating real human tissues as a cost-effective alternative to conventional meat, researchers aim to create a sustainable protein source that could potentially alleviate food scarcity issues. So what the United States have initiated at the forefront of their initiative, they invested millions and millions in research to bring lab-grown meat to market and reshape the global food industry. Now, however this may sound interesting or amazing for the future as we are trying to find solution to the lack of meat production that we have here on this beautiful world of ours, but having to consider the adoption of lab-grown meat raises ethical concerns and challenges related to public acceptance, right? Regulatory frameworks and the long-term effects of traditional farming when it comes to meat. Striking a balance between innovation and ethical consideration will be crucial to the success of this alternative protein source. So, like I mentioned, with future innovations, we have to think about how consumer behavior is too, right? Surely, we don't want to eat ourselves, right? Our own kind is what I'd like to say, right? And so this is where HPP comes in. So what is HPP? So HPP is actually a very beautiful new technology here in Asia especially, okay? In Malaysia, we are very lucky to share with you guys the first patent to be collaborated with PS Food and Beverage Sdn Bhd under MARDI to move forward with food innovation through high pressure processing technology. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start by explaining to you the important topic that affects us all today, which is embracing technology towards food security, right? So in particular, I would like to shed light on innovative approach as we have in front of us, HPP, high pressure processing technology. So this technology has the potential to revolutionize the way we tackle food security by prolonging the shelf life of fresh produce. So we're talking about fresh fruits, we're talking about fresh vegetables, we're talking about fresh meat, as well as seafoods and fishes, right? So this is where HPP comes in. So the idea here is HPP is able to prolong the shelf life of all this fresh produce without the use of heat. And we understand that heat can change the initial produce itself. So let's have an example, okay? So we have raw chicken in front of us. Surely what that means is there is risk of salmonella, correct? So how do we get rid of the salmonella? So the most common way of doing so is to cook the meat. So cooking the meat means we will be using heat, right? Heat. And so that means we are using the most common processing food called retort, okay? So retort uses heat. So what happens when you use heat to prolong or to preserve your produce, you are going to change the taste, you are going to change the color, you are going to change the texture, and eventually you are not enjoying exactly what you had in the first place, which is the raw meat. Surely the nutritional value will also change. And so what happens with HPP is that we eliminate the heating elements and instead we use pressure. And so with pressure, what happens is we can put the bacteria to sleep instead of destroying it and changing all the beautiful, valued nutrients found in this produce, right? So with pressure, we are able to put them to sleep. So here you can see an example of the machine. Surely this machine in front of us right now is one of the biggest kind of HPP, which is manufactured all the way in Germany. Yes, this is a future technology from Germany, and Germany only, actually. So right now in front of us, we can see it's demonstrated as a non-thermal technique, as I explained initially earlier. Okay, so what it does is it eliminates, in the sense of putting to sleep, the pathogenic and spoilage bacteria, as well as inhabit several enzymes that will bring to enhance safety and shelf life extension to food without destroying the natural value. Okay. So food security in a global challenge that demands our attention. With a rapidly growing population and limited resources, we face the daunting task of feeding billions of people while preserving the planet's health, right? And so traditional methods of food preservation often lead to nutrient loss and the degradation of quality over the years, as we know. And so, of course, this is where HPP is able to solve these problems. So, I'd like for you guys to imagine a scenario, all right? So this scenario is imagining a world where we no longer have to worry about the rapid deterioration of fresh fruits and vegetables. So HPP technology is able to provide a solution that not only increases the availability of nutritional and functional food, but at the same time reduce food waste. So it has the potential to improve the quality of life for individuals in the food insecure regions. We're talking about those who need nutrients more than us, those who are lack of shelter, who needs these immunity substances from natural foods to increase their quality of life, right? So furthermore, HPP food technology aligns perfectly with our sustainability goals. Okay? Hold up. Okay. Yes. Sustainability goals. By extending the shelf life of fresh produce, we can reduce the need for excessive production, for transportation, and for storage. Then this results in lower carbon emissions, less food waste, and a more efficient use of resources. Of course, this is all what we want, especially in the future, where things are going to be so much more limited than what we have today. Okay? However, to fully embrace technology towards food security, of course, this is where we come in to educate, to bring awareness about HPP technology and its benefit. We need to foster collaboration between government agencies, research institutions, and of course, industry players like you elites in front of us right now, to promote the adoption and integration of future advanced technology, processing food technology, into our food supply chain. So additionally, investments in infrastructures, in training programs are crucial to ensure a smooth transitions and widespread adoption of this innovative technology. So very quickly, I'm going to touch upon on how this works. So surely from the idea of retort, we will put it inside the retort machine where heat is being implemented into the produce. So the idea here is very similar, but instead it is with pressurized water. So pressurized water will go inside. So we see the first step basically is we press the fresh juices, fresh vegetables, okay? And then we fill it inside the bottle. So in our case, we fill it inside our flexible packaging, which is manufactured by ourselves, our parent company, PS Polypack, Sdn Bhd. And then after that, we are to put it inside this machine, this futuristic machine by the German institutions,
that provided us. So this machine can actually, the time frame of this machine is only 1 minute, 60 seconds. So what does that mean? It cuts the time, the production time. So that means capacity is increased 3-4 times more than your traditional food processing method, right? So what happens is pressure is being released or being captured inside this vessel for the next 60 seconds. We put inside the freshly pressed juice that is packed inside our flexible packaging, goes inside the vessel. Pressure is released over 60 seconds, so that's a total of 2 minutes, and boom, you have your product. Fresh item that is now 30 times the shelf life of the initial fresh produce. So what this means is, for example, we have an apple. We cut the apple in half. What will happen? Oxidization, correct? It will start to turn brown, correct? So in our common brain, how we think, anything that turns brown from the initial state usually means it's turning bad, right? But in this case, we are able to prolong it 30 times more. So meaning your apple, instead of cutting it, having to consume it within the day, you have 30 days to consume it. So this is the idea of HPP technology, to prolong your fresh items 30 days than it initially is. Okay? So here we have some benefits we can find inside our fresh juices, fresh beverages. We have the extended shelf life of times 30 of the initial fresh items. We also have increased safety. So what that means is it helps to inactivate or puts to sleep the pathogens that is crucial to making the items bad or expire sooner than it is. So what that means is it helps inactivate pathogens such as Listeria, E. coli, and Salmonella, as mentioned earlier, right? Other than that, we open new markets. So what this means, new market, is I'd like to touch a little bit upon this. So we understand with the 30 days shelf life, export is going to be difficult. But you have to understand, this does not fall under FMCG anymore. This falls under cold press. But this is where we are about to change the supply chain by making it FMCG. With our capacity and the way we do our logistics and the way we do our storage. So next, we also have natural products. So as you know, our items have no added water. You heard me right. No added sugar. And it's exactly as you see the fresh produce pressed in front of your eyes, filled inside the pouch, goes through the HPP technology, right? So moving on, here you can see some of our lineups of our drinks. Bearing in mind, I have to mention that the packaging is still in a state of changes. We are trying to make it better as it is. If you can tell, this is already so beautiful to your eyes, but stay tuned as we are about to change it to be so much better than you are already seeing right now, okay? So next we have other packaging technology, food processing technology, such as the common types that we are already familiar with, MAP packaging, as well as skin packaging. So as you know, MAP packaging is a preservation technique by manipulating the gas inside the packaging and control the product respiration rate. So what that means is, for example, you can see here, we would inject additional gases to prolong the shelf life of such item, be it veggies, fruits, meats, fishes, and so on. So we will add in carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen, nitrous oxide, argon, hydrogen. So you know these chemicals or these gases are safe gases. Gases you see all around you every single day. So you don't have to worry about added preservatives that's going to destroy or change the produce. So you are playing with fresh item through these types of preservation techniques, okay? So moving on, we also have our skin packaging. So skin packaging is mostly for marketing, if you'd like to put it in a more creative way of seeing things. Why is that? It's because we're playing with skin packaging that will preserve the preservation technique by packing the process by extract the air from inside the packaging and will make a marketing appeal from it. So what you are looking at is actually a 3D version of this preserved meat or preserved seafood inside the skin packaging. So here's an example of one. So here we have meat, we have fishes, we have seafood, right? I'm clicking. Okay, so I hope you guys learned something today. As much as I was very simply put, concise, I hope you guys gain some sort of knowledge when it comes to the future of technology and food processing, be it in the food security especially. So I thank you so much for your ears and your eyes, and I hope you guys will have some time to visit our booth over at booth number 54 all the way to 57, because we are actually the main sponsor for the healthy beverage under PS Food and Beverage for Asia Smart Farming 2023. So I thank you so much for your time, and see you guys around.
Thank you. And I think at this juncture, what the younger generation need is the spirit and the clap from the soul, not from the body. One big round of applause to Mr. Yazir Mashur. Wonderful. And as he said, the tagline of PS Food and Beverage is healthy way of life. And they are walking their talk. No added sugar, no preservative, and no water added. It is original. That is the reason the brand is Origina. The L is missing because there is love in your heart. Thank you, Tuan Ambali. You start the spirit today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we end today, you will also receive a link for those who would like to meet the speakers today. The B2B. Tuan Ambali, can you raise your hand again to show? Right. This Tuan Ambali is the person in charge for B2B, for the meeting. You will receive the link. And once you receive the link, please coordinate whom you want to meet from today's speakers. And tomorrow is another important day. As I mentioned, apart from No Self. And yeah, I didn't see Mr. Marcelo. Yes, sir. Mr. Marcelo, Puan Adila, Mr. Marcelo said yesterday, while we are traveling from Putrajaya to Kuala Lumpur, he's so sharp, he said, Mr. Ravi, I used to see the signboard of Origina. He's so observant. He told me yesterday. I said, now we don't need billboard. People know Origina. It's a household name. One big round of applause again to Origina. Doing a great job. And thank you for supporting us. And thanks, Mr. Marcelo, for asking that question. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from No Self talk tomorrow, there is also a wonderful parallel session. We have Dr. Kirpal Singh from Singapore, who is sitting with us. His creative modules are mind-blowing. Tomorrow he'll be taking the stage with Professor Nayan. And Dr. Kara Lee from South Africa. Thank you for being with us today. And I also have Future Nuri, very, very important, digitalizing the entire knowledge tomorrow. And we have Professor Tyler Lee. Can I see your hand, sir? Professor Tyler Lee, the person who is expert in Korean ginseng. Korean ginseng. And they believe Malaysia's weather is very suitable for Korean ginseng. And Professor Tyler Lee, do we have carbon moss EGS here from South Korea? SAMAC. And carbon moss technology. So tomorrow, there is a wonderful session. No Self will be taking place here. Parallel session is another room. You will receive the link. Please register. If you have 3 people coming from one company, send one for the parallel session. The 2 can remain here in the main conference hall. Are you with me? Hanya Hambali yang tanya yes. Are you with me? Yes or yes? Thank you. So the parallel session will be another hall. Main session will be here. The session tomorrow, as usual, we'll start with offering you a breakfast, tea break, 8:30 tomorrow morning. And the session, the first session is accelerating and transforming startups into unicorn. Live talk by Captain Steve Hoffman from US. It's a live speech. The founder of Founder Space. And then from 9:30 up to afternoon, No Self as Nature Does. This is crucial for everyone, and actually we are airing it globally. You can send the link to your friends in overseas to watch this live tomorrow via YouTube and Facebook. We will send you the link. And the rest follows. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been told by the management of MyTech, the tea and the cookies is a special cookies they made today for tea break. And today, as I mentioned, lunch was, people have commented, fantastic. Miss Mala, who's standing at the back, you have made our day, Miss Mala. One round of applause to MyTech. Thank you so much. She said, the food is there, don't go back. Try the local delicacies. People come and ask me, the food, Indian food cooked today is fantastic. Who is the chef? And the chef is Malay. This is Malaysia. Only in Malaysia you can see this. And tomorrow there is a Chinese cuisine. Imagine that. And please share with your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end for the first day with this statement. We are startup, ABS Green Tech. We are still crawling. We are a small company. And Tan Sri Raman holding my hand for the last 8 years. Look at that man, has patience on me. I'll be running around everywhere, right? But we had a vision to do Asia Smart Farming and Food Security. We don't have the skill, but we put our heart and soul together. And when he said, no, October we are going to do it. And a big inspiration came from No Self team, by very honest in my heart. We wanted to start this As Nature Does seminar, and that turned out to be Asia Smart Farming and Food Security. And I believe No Self can take us to another level of food security, and the food will be safe and it will be very, very affordable for the consumption. With that statement, thank you so much, and please tolerate and apologize for the shortcoming on the first day. We hope to learn, and if there is any comment to be given, please call me, because I'm spearheading this project. Don't feel shy to scold me. You have all the right, because only a sincere family member will give the comment in front, not at the back. You can hit me here, I will accept it, and we will improve it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you. Terima kasih.